Howdy, friends. Welcome into another episode of Nash Trash with our good friend Debbie Reynolds. Debbie, what's going on in Big D?
Well, just staying under the radar, so to speak, and having a
Aren't we
good time.
all?
We had snow on Sunday. It lasted about 5 or 6 minutes, and that's about it.
Yeah, down here in the Woodlands, my son saw a flurry,
A
and
flurry.
yesterday I went outside and I kept hearing what I thought was rain, but there wasn't any rain. There was hail coming down yesterday afternoon. A little pea-sized hail lasted for
Wow.
about 10 minutes, went away. You know.
It's Texas. That's the weather.
So much for the winter here in Texas. But anyway,
Absolutely. Some interesting things have happened in country music throughout history that have dates that are landing this week. On January the 11th of 1964, our friend Johnny Cash, he debuted his 16th album, Ring of Fire, The Best of Johnny Cash. Now, the interesting thing about this is it debuted #1, and it was the first #1 country album on Billboard. Billboard had just started having country album charts, and so it hit #1 when it came out. I thought that was pretty interesting. He was #1 for Billboard and #1 for his album. But going on to talk about Johnny Cash, a couple of years later in 1967, on January the 11th, Johnny Cash and June Carter recorded the duet Jackson, which went on to get them a Grammy in 1968. But what I think is fun to ask you, do you know the other couple who also scored a hit with the song Jackson?
I didn't know anybody else recorded that song.
Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood.
Wow.
They had a hit several years later with the same song. I thought that was kind of fun, different genre. It was a pop song for them.
Yeah. That was a great
And
song.
she probably had her boots on too, by the way, I have to admit. On January the 11th of 2017, guitarist Tommy Allsup died at the age of 85. And he played guitar for Merle Haggard, Roy Orbison, and Willie Nelson. But Tommy Allsup was probably one of the luckiest men in country music because he lost a coin toss many, many years before. And it was the coin toss he had with Richie Valens. They flipped the coin to see who was going to get on Buddy Holly's plane. And you know what? The rest is history. Richie Valens, as you know, got on and the plane crashed, losing the lives of 3 very important men. But Tommy Allsup was not one of them.
Yeah, that was a lucky day for him and a horrible day for the rest of us because we lost.
Absolutely. On January 13th, 2015, Garth Brooks pushed past Elvis Presley to take back the title of solo artist who has sold more albums than any other in U.S. history. Elvis was at 134.5 million, and Garth went on that day 135 million copies. That's a lot of albums. I mean, truly.
Can you imagine beating out Elvis Presley?
I cannot. Wow. And he can keep that record for a long time because he's still alive and putting out those albums. Hey, on January 13th, 1965, Once a Day by Connie Smith was at #1. Now, it was the first single debuted by a female country artist that reached #1, and it spent 8 weeks at #1. And it has taken that top spot for quite a long time. No one's broken that record, which surprises me.
It does surprise me too. You think that some female artists would have beat that, but I mean, 8 weeks at #1 is a long time.
It was her debut single, and no one's beat that.
Not even Taylor?
Not even Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Or Carrie Underwood, who, let me tell you about Carrie Underwood. On January 15th, 2014, there was a list put out by Forbes that stated that the top country music earner was Carrie Underwood. In 2013, because of endorsements and tours and albums and all, Miss Carrie Underwood made $31 million. Now, she no longer is the top because, as we know, when Garth Brooks came back into touring and the business a few years ago, he made well over that that first year out, well over that. But we think that's great because Carrie Underwood is such a great artist. We want her to, and she is just everywhere. She's got clothes, she's got water, she's got Nashville hockey husband, so she's doing really good.
She's doing all right. 31 million, she's doing all right.
Absolutely. Well, let's say happy birthday to a few people. On Monday, Naomi Judd and Robert Earl King celebrated a birthday. On Tuesday, William Lee Golden of the Oak Ridge Boys celebrated his birthday. Today, happy birthday to Trace Adkins. And tomorrow, happy birthday to T-Bone Burnett, who I just think is just awesome.
All of those people are pretty good, I can tell you.
Absolutely.
William Lee Golden.
Birthdays.
William Lee Golden, he must be about 84, 85 years old now.
He was born in 1939, the same a few years after my parents. So he's about what, 82, 81?
Somewhere around there. Yeah. Math is not my thing. So
I think about 82. Hey, the Grand Ole Opry has got a fabulous lineup on Friday and Saturday, but let me tell you about Friday. Friday night is a special concert sponsored by the National Wild Turkey Federation. Now, no, has nothing to do with the drink wild turkey. It has everything to do with the mission of conservation and preservation for hunting and hunting heritage and things. But on the bill is Blake Shelton, Dustin Lynch, Chris Jansen, and Craig Morgan. I'm telling you, that's going to be a heck of a lineup. Limited seating, so tickets are going like crazy, I know.
I tell you, I'd love to see Craig Morgan.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. On Saturday night's a good lineup as well. Comedian Henry Cho will be there. Jay Coote, who's the voice champion from season 17. Carly Pierce, Riders in the Sky, our friend Jeannie Seeley, Christian singer Michael W. Smith, and then Daly and Vincent. So they've got a great lineup both nights. Catch it on the Circle if you can't go in person.
Well, those are some good shows, that's for sure. One of these days we're going to get back there.
We are. One
of these. Well, we switched charts from the Texas music charts. We switched over to another company called CDX out of Nashville, and their charts are very, very similar, but there's a lot of people that keep track of this stuff, and they're all slightly different. So anyway, we're going to start using CDX. John Stork, our good friend, he's been on the charts for 19 weeks with Another Town. Wow. He's number 5. He didn't move anywhere last week. Stayed at number 5. John Wolf went from number 3 to number 4 with Heart to Steal Tonight. He's been 15 weeks on the charts with that one. Josh Abbott Band went from number 4 to number 3 with The Luckiest. And Curtis Grimes is sitting at number 2 for the second week with still a little country left. He's been out there for 13 weeks with that one. And he's also got a brand new song that he's going to be recording in February called Cowboy Constitution. So we'll be looking forward to that. And then the Randy Rogers Band is still at number 1 with Drinking Money, spending 13 weeks on the charts. And of course, we always want to look at some of our friends and see what they're doing on the charts. Aaron Watson moved in number 6 with Silverado Saturday Night. Kylie Prince Fry, her song I Do Thing is sitting at number 8. Holly Tucker bounced out of the top 10 down to number 11. She's sitting there with the Rhythm of You. And then a song that I didn't even know was out there, and it's sitting at number 12. And I'm so glad to see that he's putting new music out. It's Randy Travis, and he's got a brand new song called Fool's Love Affair, and he's sitting at number 12. But I'm sure that's going to skyrocket to the top because anything by Randy Travis is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Checking out the dance halls across Texas that we always like to find out who's playing. At Green Hall, Saturday, January 23rd, is going to be our friend Jake Penrod. And on Saturday, February 6th, a guy from the Woodlands, Jack Ingram, is going to be there. At Do-Si-Do in the Woodlands on Thursday, January 14th, Curtis Grimes, like I said, he has the #2 spot on the Texas charts right now. On January 21st, Jason Allen and Tom Shepard are going to do a little song swap. Jason was just featured on the 5-Minute Music Series this past week. And on Saturday, Saturday, February 6th and 7th, William Clark Green is going to be at Do-Si-Do. At the Arena Theater, Friday, February 19th, it's going to be Shenandoah and Restless Heart. And on the 20th of May, Gene Watson, Bellamy Brothers, and Mo Bandy. I still want to see that show.
Oh, that's a good lineup.
Yeah, that is. Those are 3 great acts right there. At Main Street Crossing on Thursday, January 14th and the 15th, Sundance Head. Of course, he won The Voice a few years back. And on Monday, January 18th, Mark Jones and Clayton Gardner are going to do a little song swap. Mark is being featured on the 5-Minute Music Series this Saturday night, so tune in for that on Lone Star Country on Facebook. And on Thursday, January 21st and the 22nd, a Texas legend, a singer-songwriter, Gary Pina, best known, I think, for the London Homesick Blues and Willie Nelson's The Last Thing I Needed, The First Thing This Morning. Those are 2 really good songs.
Absolutely. That'll be a good show for sure.
I would love to see that, but I don't know. I don't think it's sold out, but I think it's awful close.
Yeah, I bet. Good show.
Yeah. So what else is going on in country music?
Well, let me tell you, and this is going to be a big stretch, but one of my very favorite and one of the greatest bands of all time, as you know, are the Eagles. Sure. I mean, who could ever forget, or, you're always wanting to hum an Eagles song. Well, here's a fun story from 1975. In January of 1975, Glenn Fry and Don Henley were sitting around a bar in LA called Dan Tana's, which I found interesting nonetheless. But it was a place where a lot of beautiful women showed up, and in their drinking, they got to talking about how funny it was that these beautiful women would show up with fat, ugly rich men. And all of a sudden, this beautiful woman comes in, and she's followed by a fat, ugly rich man. And Glenn Fry said, "Why, you can't even hide those lying eyes." He and Don Henley kind of looked at each other, and they said they grabbed as many napkins as they could and started writing out lyrics, finished them at home. They were roommates living in Dorothy Lamour, the actress Dorothy Lamour's old house. Anyway, that song, Lion Eyes, was the only song the Eagles ever recorded that was not only on the Billboard Top 100, but it was number 8 on the Billboard Country chart. And they received a Grammy. It was for a pop song, but that was the only song that the Eagles ever said or got recognized as being a country song.
I always think back to the songs that they say that, all of a sudden some words tripped off somebody's tongue.
Yeah.
And they just made, wow, such great lyrics. Song. They just show up, it's great.
The song Lion Eyes, by the way, was featured in a movie.
Was it?
It was a background song in a restaurant of Urban Cowboy. So
I watched Urban Cowboy again just the other day. I didn't catch that.
Okay. Well, you'll have to pick that up. Hey, one final thing. I have discovered a new website called Sounds Like Nashville, and they are featuring 17 country artists to watch in 2021. So I'm thinking I'm going to be talking about a country artist, an up and coming country artist every week. And so this week I picked picked Walker Montgomery, and I picked him because of his heritage. He is the son of John Michael Montgomery and nephew of Eddie Montgomery, of course, of Montgomery Gentry. But Walker Montgomery, he has a balance of kind of pop and rock, 90s to today. And he has a debut album that's just come out. He's got about 6 singles already out. And I tell you, with his heritage and the help that he's gotten, this kid, I think, is somebody that we need to watch in 2021. We're going to hear a lot more about Walker Montgomery.
Do you think he's one of those guys to pay attention to?
Yeah, I think he's somebody to pay attention to. And if not, his daddy and his uncle is going to tell you to pay attention.
All right. Well, Walker Montgomery. All right. That's a name we'll start remembering. It sounds like Nashville. I actually went on the website and checked it out. It's a pretty good website. I think I'll start looking at that one.
He's got one of his newest songs that just was released. It's got, I don't care about anything. It's a good song, but the title's the best. Bad Day to Be a Beer.
Okay.
I just think that's a great song.
Maybe it's the title we'll all be talking about at the end of the year. Who knows?
I hope so.
All right, Debbie Reynolds. Anything else going on we need to know about?
Nope. It's going to be a good week for country music at the Opry. So everyone go or tune in, one of the two.
The best thing you can do is go see live music. So we suggest
absolutely somewhere.
All right. Debbie Reynolds, we'll see you next week, next Wednesday night. Okay.
All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.
All right. See you later.